The word speaks present today. Why, the chosen, stay broke. Until this happens, it's almost unbelievable. How can someone so spiritual, so gifted, so willing to serve others, constantly struggle just to pay the bills? It's like money avoids the chosen ones. But what if I told you this isn't just bad luck? That there's a deeper spiritual reason behind the financial struggle? Yes, your empty bank account might say more about your destiny than your failures. While most people think financial lack means you're doing something wrong, very few see the invisible war happening, and those with a divine calling are often the first targets. This isn't just about money, it's about spiritual battles, generational cycles, and a silent preparation almost no one understands. But once you see the truth, everything shifts. Today, you'll discover why the chosen ones struggle financially and how this struggle might be the start of your breakthrough. We'll talk about purpose, testing, lack, abundance, and truths no one dares to speak about money and spirituality. Ready to see what you've never seen before? Ever noticed how those who pray the most, help the most, give the most, often seem to be the ones struggling the most financially? It's not a coincidence. It's a war. The chosen carry such a powerful energy inside them that darkness moves early to stop them before they rise. And how does it strike right where it hurts most? The bank account. Many with a strong calling live in realities that seem to contradict prosperity. They work hard, yet money disappears. They launch businesses and face failure. They study, but no job comes. There's a spiritual mechanic at play here. It's not bad luck, it's preparation. God allows these trials so the chosen can rely on the source, not just the resources. And strangely, it's in this dry season that the first fruits begin to form. Think of people who started with nothing, selling food, walking miles, working 2 jobs. They weren't just chasing money, they were being forged. Financial struggle is a disguised school where the spirit shapes character and resilience. And when that understanding settles, another kind of trial quietly begins. The chosen one's calling doesn't begin on stage, it begins in the wilderness. Many dream of spiritual gifts, leading people, living with purpose, but forget that before authority comes humiliation. Testing is heaven's training ground. God hides the chosen from the spotlight to shape them in the shadows. And it's there alone, crying, with a bank account near zero, that they learn the real power isn't in having, it's in becoming. The spiritual battles they face aren't random. Every pain has a purpose. Every delay has a lesson. And every seeming defeat is sharpening the instrument. People look and say, if they're so spiritual, why are they always struggling? But the fire that burns is the same fire that purifies. In the silence, the Spirit teaches them to discern voices, resist temptation, and obey without a reward. It's where they learn how to remain, not just be seen. A real-life example. Think of Joseph. He had the dream, but before the palace came, the pit, the prison, the betrayal. In obscurity, he learned how to lead, interpret, and wait. The trials you face may be the very key that unlocks your calling, and when you're ready, you won't need to knock. The door will open. But will those around you accept your evolution? It's strange how the chosen attract attention, even when they have nothing to show. The spiritual energy they carry stirs discomfort. It's like a light turned on in a dark room. Without meaning to, they trigger envy in those who fear growth. And that's where the attacks begin. Criticism, exclusion, subtle sabotage, and the worst of all, the smile that hides a curse. Not every battle is physical, many are invisible. Thoughts whispered, words released, rooms filled with tension, and if the chosen one isn't spiritually alert, they fall into traps, unexplained fatigue, sudden arguments, doors slamming shut. That's why protecting the mind, heart, and home isn't optional. It's spiritual strategy, prayer, fasting, discernment. That's how you fight when your destiny is under attack. Need an example? When someone starts to succeed, suddenly friends give strange advice, family starts guilt-tripping, and people say they've changed. It's not about the money, it's about what that abundance represents. Breaking through irritates those who chose stagnation. And that's why understanding this spiritual truth matters, especially when isolation starts to feel like divine strategy. The chosen often walk through seasons where no one seems to understand them. Friends vanish, family grows distant, invitations dry up, but it's not rejection, it's selection. There's a kind of preparation that only happens in silence. God removes the noise outside to amplify the voice inside. That isolation becomes a sacred training ground for spiritual growth. When they try to explain their feelings, their vision, or their spiritual gifts, they're often met with blank stares or hidden mockery. An empty bank account becomes a joke. Faith is seen as fanaticism. Purpose sounds like delusion. And that's when many give up, expecting validation from people still stuck in comparison. But someone with a different destiny can't expect approval from those on a different level. Want proof? Jesus wasn't understood by his own brothers. Joseph was betrayed by his family. David was forgotten when the prophet came to anoint a king. Isolation isn't punishment, it's positioning. God pulls the chosen aside, not to abandon them, but to prepare the stage. And in that silence, he's shaping the kind of character that won't break when scarcity keeps knocking. Scarcity, though unwanted, is one of heaven's sharpest tools. When everything's missing, what's essential is revealed. The chosen learn to value, to prioritize, to innovate with little in tight budgets, small spaces, and limited chances. Responsibility is born. Character isn't built in luxury. It's forged in the fire of limitation. Financial struggle doesn't just test faith, it shapes vision. It teaches you to count, to plan, to say no when others say yes. A chosen one who masters scarcity is being trained to handle abundance with purpose, because the one who knows how to survive on $10 will know how to multiply $10,000. Discipline born in lack is what sustains overflow. Real-world examples. Single moms who feed their kids with creativity and grace, entrepreneurs who started with $100 and flipped it into a movement. They don't just have skills, they have resilience, vision, and purpose. When money comes, it only amplifies what was already within. But will the greatness ahead really unfold if patience isn't learned? Most people live just to survive. The chosen, they're wired to break through. Inside them is a spiritual DNA that rebels against mediocrity, that dreams big even when life screams impossible. And that very vision is what threatens the system. Because the chosen weren't called to chase money, but to shift atmospheres, destroy cycles, and awaken others to their purpose. But greatness carries weight. The higher the calling, the greater the responsibility. The chosen must build internal structure, emotional maturity, strategic thinking, spiritual discernment. It's like holding a superpower without control. It can destroy you. That's why God doesn't rush blessings. He trains first. A full bank account means nothing if the soul is bankrupt. Look around. Most who impact lives went through deep, painful stories of rejection and preparation. Not by chance, by process. Greatness is often first rejected, then hidden, then tested, until it blooms. But to walk into that destiny, the chosen must master one rare skill, the ability to obey while waiting. There are breakthroughs the chosen will only receive when they learn to obey without questioning. Think of it like a divine GPS. Sometimes God says, "Turn left," and it looks like the longer path, but he still expects obedience. Patience here isn't weakness, it's moving while trusting. Those called to greater things must align with heaven's timing, not rush through spiritual doors. Obedience isn't blind rule following, it's understanding kingdom logic. First the test, then the testimony. First the waiting, then the reward. Many never step into abundance because they rush the process. Money comes with spiritual instruction, and it only stays where maturity lives. The bank balance you want requires the mindset you're still building, and that takes time. One story to summarize. Abraham waited 25 years for a promise. Moses spent 40 years in silence before leading, and Jesus prepared 30 years for a 3-year mission. The chosen must realize, waiting isn't delay, it's divine design. And those who walk with patience and obedience are the ones who taste heaven's abundance first. And now that you know the truth, what will you do with it? Will you keep believing you were born just to survive? Or will you finally accept that you were chosen to break through? Because those who are chosen carry a kind of superpower. And that power wasn't given to hide behind bills, it was given to transform lives, environments, and generations. But to do that, you need to stop negotiating with scarcity and start acting like someone who carries a destiny of abundance. What's stopping you from living the life that was promised to you? Is it a lack of faith, fear, exhaustion? Or maybe you just needed to hear this message to wake up. Tell me in the comments what part of this message hit you the hardest. Which of these battles are you facing right now? I want to know. And more than that, I want to walk with you on this journey. So, if this content made sense to you, if it touched your soul and got you thinking, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because there are still many chosen ones out there who haven't realized the power they carry.